Hi all, welcome to Geeks for Geeks. I am Utkarsh Kisarmani, your DSA mentor, and going to solve today's problem of the day. So let's start. So the question is saying that given a string S consisting of digits, determine whether it can be classified as a sum string. A sum string is a string that can be split into two or more non-empty substrings such that the rightmost substring is equal to the sum of the two substrings immediately before it. This condition must apply recursively to the substrings before it. The rightmost substrings and any number in this sum must not contain leading zeros until the number is exactly 0. So the question is saying that suppose this is a string. So you have to take two strings. Let's suppose this string and after this string s1 s2. So immediately after this string there should be a string s3 that should be equal to sum of s1 plus s2 is equal to s3, correct? And after it you have to repeat this step. There should be another string s4 that will be equal to s2 plus s3. So means you have to divide the string in such part such that the current string is the summation of previous two substrings. Okay, so you have to tell that whether we can do it or not. For example, in this 12, 24, 36 and 60. So if this is the string, so if I will take the first string as this, second as this, but 12 plus 24 is 36, so this is 36. Now if I will consider these two substrings, so 36 plus 24 is 60, so the answer is 60, and yes, so therefore it is true. If it was 66, then we cannot make it. In that case the answer will be false. Okay, yeah, there's no way that it is possible. Okay, so how we can do it? We have to first choose two strings s1 and s2, and after adding the sum we will check that what is the length of this s3 string, and if we will get this s3 string, then we will see for s4. And suppose if after adding this s1 and s2 we are not getting this s3, so we will change the length of this s1 or s2 like this. So what we will do, uh, we have a string, okay, and our s1 will be here, s2 will be here. This is sure. In the starting my s1 will start from the starting point and s2 will start where the s1 ends. So it may be possible that this s1 can be of size 1, this s2 can be of size 1. It may be possible that s1 can be of size 1, s2 can be size 2. It may be possible that s1 is size 1, s2 is size 3, or it can be of size 2, it is of size 1. So it means that we have to decide first of all that what is the length of this s1 in the starting and this s2 in the starting. So we will check for all the cases, means we will take the s1 length from 1 to n, similarly for s2 length from 1 to n, and after taking the length we will just sum it up and check after summing that will the next part equal to the sum of this. If this thing is correct, we will see for further cases by taking this as s1 and this as s2. And if at any point of time we are not able to get the sum of this part, the string after it, so we will just say that the answer is false. Okay, so let's code it, then you will get what I am saying. So what I will do, first of all I will find the size of the string s dot size. Now I don't know what should be the length of s1 and s2 in the starting, so I will see for each length. So I let's suppose l1 is length of the s1, so it should be start from l1. L1 is equal to 1, l1 should be less than n, l1 plus plus. Similarly I have to choose for the length l2, so l2 will also start from 1. Now here we have to put a condition that l1 plus l2 should be less than n. because whenever we take two parts, so it should be less than the size of the string, no? That's when the case is possible that we can divide the string in two parts. And L2 plus plus, what I will do, I will check that if it is possible. So first of all I will pass the s L1 comma L2, and also I will pass the starting index. Why this starting index? Let's suppose I have taken this part, and now this is the sum. Now I have to check for again next string. So now I have to check from here. My s1 will become here, s2 will become here. So just for this index thing, I am passing this st. So in the starting, I have to take this string from the 0th index. Okay. And if this is true, so we will just return a true here. Okay. And if suppose there was no parts that can make the answer true, so in the last we return a false. Okay. Now I have to write this check function. So bool check. Here I am taking a string and s1 int starting int l1 comma int l2. Now I will find out each part. So string part 1 will be my here it is s. So s dot I will make a substring, and it will start from starting, and it will have a length of L1. Similarly I will find my part 2. So s dot substring starting, and it will start from starting plus L1 now, because if I have taken this part as the L1 and this was my string s, so now my second string start from this starting point plus the L1. So s plus L1, and it will be of length 2. Now I need to find the sum of these p1 and p2. So string sum is equal to, let's call another function add string, and here I will pass my s L1 and L2. It will give me the or let's pass this p1 and p2, p1 comma p2. It will give me the sum of this p1 and p2. Now I will see that if my L1 plus L2, the two parts, plus from where it was starting, and plus this sum dot size, because let's suppose this is a string, I am starting from here, my L1 is this, L2 is this, and expected is this. So I have to check now that after adding all the length, it should be less than n. So I will see that if it is greater than my s dot size, so it means the sum cannot exist in this left string or the left part of the string. So it means answer is not possible for that case. So just return a false here. Now if this is not the case, we will check that is my sum equal to means whatever the sum of this p1 and p2, is this equal to what we have here. So if my sum was of size L, so I will see for the next L length string and it is equal to L or not. So if my sum is equal to s dot substring, it will start from starting plus L1 plus L2. From here it will start, and it will have a length of sum dot size. Okay. So if my string is equal, so what I will do, let after it, let's suppose this was my s1, this was my s2, and this was my expected. So if the length end, so it means we have to return a true, because no more further strings left and we got the answer. So I will say that return, I will write this condition that if my st plus L1 plus L2 plus sum dot size is equal to s dot size, so in that case I have to return a true. Else what I will do now, this was my string s1 s2, here we have got the sum. So now what will happen? Now my this will become S1, my this will become S2, and I have to check for here, no? So I will pass the function, I will call the function return check. Here I will pass my S, then I will pass my starting. So my starting will be now S plus L1, because now this is the starting point, comma, my new length will be, my L1 will be L2, and my L2 will be sum dot size. Okay, if this is not the case, so if the string was not equal, it means we have to return a false. Okay, now I have to write this string function. What this add string function is doing, suppose we have 2 4 6 3 2 9. So this is in the string, we have to add this. So what I will do, I will add 6 plus 9 15. I have to take one carry here. 4 2 6 1 7, and 2 plus 3 5. So we have to add. We are not doing adding by normal integer, because it may be possible that the values will overflow. Okay, so we will write a function for adding the substrings. If you have not solved this question for adding the substrings, for adding the string, sorry, so you can watch that video and solve that question first. So I'm going to write code for that thing. So string add string, it will take two string, string s1 comma string s2. What I need to, since we always do calculation from the last now, so my I will start from s1 dot size minus 1 last index, my j will start from s2 dot size minus 1 last index, and we also have one carry which will be in the starting 0. Now I will run a I will also declare my answer. Now I will run a while loop till my this I is greater than or equal to 0, or my j is greater than or equal to 0, or I have carry left, so my carry is greater than or equal to 0. What I will do, I will create a current variable which will be equal to carry in the starting. Now if my I is greater than or equal to 0, means if we have value in the s1 string and it has not been exhausted, so what I will do, I will just do current plus is equal to s1 of I minus 0, because we are converting it to int. Similarly, if my j is greater than or equal to 0, so current plus is equal to s2 of j minus of 0. Okay, after it I will just do yeah, I got it. Now I will add, let's suppose 6 plus 9 is 15. So I just write this in our answer and make this as carry. So this 5 is remainder. So I will do it like answer plus is equal to my current modulo 10. Okay, and now I have to convert it to string, so plus 0, and I have to update my carry. So carry is equal to carry by 10, not carry by 10, it is equal to current by 10. Okay, in the last I will return my answer. Okay, so let's run it. Okay, we also have to decrease our indexes now. So I minus minus j minus minus. Also we need to do one thing here, that we have to reverse our answer by c. Because we are adding like this now, adding 5 in an answer, then adding 7 in our answer, then adding 5 in our answer. So this is not the case, but we are adding this in the starting, then we are adding this, then we are adding this, so we have to reverse answer. Okay, why it's giving TLE. n dot size length. Okay, here we have L2. Okay, so S0 L1 L2 true else false. Here I came, I find out this P1 which is okay, this adding it, if it is greater than S dot size then we have written a false, else if this is equal we'll check if this is equal to S dot size, return true, otherwise we will call for next false. And here we have a I, here we have a J carry answer. Okay, so this carry should be equal to 0. Yeah, let's submit it. Okay, it has been submitted correctly. Here I removed this equal to sign because let's suppose I index is exhausted, j is exhausted. So if we have carry greater than 0 then only we have to put the carry in the answer now. If it is not greater than equal to if it is 0, so no need to put that in the answer. That's why if I will talk about the time complexity, so you can see that here that we are running two loops, so it will be O of n square, and in this check function here we have check function, so we are calling here this add string function, and this add string function is running again O of n times. So the time complexity for this solution is O of n square, and yeah, and if I will talk about the space complexity, so we are using this variable answer variable, so we can say it is also O of n. It is O of n cube, sorry, not O of n square. So thanks for watching the video. If you have any doubt you can comment below, and have a good day. Bye.